of Wolfman Leo. He is by far my favorite fig in the whole entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, and so we will get to him eventually. But so all four, and Raph did have a variant, and that's who we're gonna start with. And unfortunately, they don't show the variant on this website, but it's something. It might not even be a variant as much as it is maybe factory default. We have seen enough of them though that it probably is a variation. But we'll talk that after I go over his accessories real quick. So he came with his two signature size, as always, but they had cobra heads on the handle parts, a stone dagger, and this part here would be the part that was the stone, and then a kid size Egyptian ring. I don't know if they mean kid size or king size when they type this out. I'd have to look at the back of the card, which I don't know for sure if they. No, kid sized. So yeah, kid sized. Um, Egyptian ring. Now, whether or not I don't know if that meant it fit the kid's fingers or not, or it was meant to go on Raph's wrist, as we all know. But that is that there. The other thing with these, as you can see as we scroll down, there's actually variations of all the weapons, not necessarily the turtles. So there we have pink, blue, orange, and I want to say red. Those were the four. So pink, blue, orange, and red were the four variations that you could get with each accessory. So, like I said, Raph was the only one that had a variation to his. If you see here, the gold, or the chest plate of Raph sometimes comes unpainted, would match the wrappings. So you wouldn't see that part through there. That's the variation. So, that is Raph the Mummy. I don't want to go there. We'll go Don as Dracula next. The Fanged Foo Fighter. That's kind of foot fighter or foot fighter. Kind of funny. His accessories were the batty bow, his classic bow staff with two bats on the end, wrist wrapping bat buddy. So it was more like a medallion though that I think you could attach. The kid size bat medallion, and then a wacky wooden stake. So he came with those four. And again, these ones pictured are blue, but if we come down, you have the purple and then red on the back of the card there. So you could get those variation colors on those. Now, if you find those variation colors, I mean, obviously you'd want to try to keep this purplish one with Dawn that matches Dawn. The red ones you want to go with Raph. Orange ones, obviously, to Mike, and then the blue ones to Leo if you could. You know, that would be the ideal. So, but I think each one of the turtles having their own colors is a lot more rare than the other. So, then they had Mike as Frankenstein. I think a great look for Mike, honestly. Definitely picked the right. I feel like the first line was picture perfect as far as the Universal monsters go and the characters picked for each one. He had the bolt-handed nunchucka and pain chain shackle there. Obviously his nunchucks, his classic nunchucks, but with the chain as the connector. The beastly beaker right there, and then a flaming torch club right there. So again, we're getting showed the purple accessories there, and his is actually the one that has purple and purple. So this one they were able to find one that matches the one up top. And then you can see the packaging here. They had stuff, and they had all four characters on there. I like the. This is one of my favorite. If I was to get one on card back, I'd probably keep it that way. Which a lot of you know I don't like to collect the cards or keep them on card. I like to rip them open. But I love the artwork on this one. It's so good and so clean. So that is Mike as Frankenstein. There we go. So the last but not least in that line was Leo as the Wolfman. Like I said, super great fig. My all-time ultimate favorite, mixing two of my favorite things. I love Leonardo. That's my turtle, and then I am a huge fan of werewolves in that genre, so I love that combination. The Bony Katana, sorry, wow, that was a bad read. The Bony Katana, Leo's classic katana blade with a bone for the handle. He had the wolf head cane, which I one of the better accessories out there. The fiendish foot trap, which is very similar to the leatherhead trap. Just a heads up there. And then the silver bullet shooting gun, which kind of is weird to give the Wolfman the gun that could kill him, but you know, as far as accessories go, that's what they're doing. They're featured as the orange version, and obviously so is the picture here. So if you could find Wolfman with the blue, I think that is by far, I think the rarest version of any of those is Wolfman with the blue accessories. Very hard to find those. But again, great artwork on the card there. Amazing. So those were the 1993. So I think they had such a success with those that Universal came back and wanted a second line in 1994. And we'll get to that here in just a second. I want to go back to these ones. Another note with this line here in particular, Don, I believe on his white shirt, Leo on his shirt and cuffs, and then most of Raph's body should also glow in the dark. I don't know if anything Mike glows in the dark. That I would have to do a little research on, or I haven't really asked questions on. I don't think anything on Mike glows in the dark. I could be wrong. I wish someone was on here to correct me. I have a few Mike fans out there that I know that'll join that might. So there is definitely, these are amazing figs. Like the glow in the dark. If you go check out my TikTok, I have a video up of using my Wolfman Leo's glow in the dark action. It's really cool. I think it's great to have figs that glow in the dark. That's obviously going to be hit with kids. So there's those there. So now we can go back here. Like I said, we're using TMNTtoys.com again. It's my go-to website when I'm looking up stuff. And so now we're going to 1994, Universal Monsters 2nd Series. And that's where we get this lineup here. Now, the key difference here is obviously you can see Donatello is not in this lineup. They went with Raph, Leo, Mike again, but then added April into the mix. Now, that could be because there wasn't any other creatures to use. I would try to think at that time what was Universal's other big monster during 1994. I don't think there really was one that would have fit, so I think that's why. Now, granted, leaving Donatello out, that's probably just a choice. Maybe he didn't fit any of these molds that they were going to do, so sorry, Donnie fans, you don't get a second Universal monster, at least not in Playmates, but in NECA. If any of you know the NECA, we might even discuss the NECA just a little bit towards the end here. If nobody joins, maybe not. So let's start off with Bride of Frankenstein April. So like I said, Donnie was dropped. They bring in Bride of Frankenstein April. Obviously a classic counterpart to Frankenstein, which maybe they weren't thinking about it at the time, but it would have been probably better to pair with the Mike Frankenstein. But it is what it is. Very, very good detail work though on this fig. I do like this fig a lot for April. To complete her, you will need the electrode power switch, which I believe is there. The creepy cracked monster movie camera, which the electrode power switch connects to. You have the bandaged monster Mike right there. Scareaway hairspray, which I believe is that one there. And then the Nasty Ninja Fright Star. Let's go check out the packaging there. Now, I do believe she had a re-release as well. And it is showing that. Or the foreign card. The USA card didn't get that, but the foreign card was just a regular purple back, as we call them. So you didn't get that. You still got the card in there, which is nice. But you don't get the nice artwork. I mean, that, again, great artwork on there. And then it also showed on the back there all the different figs when they started doing printing, multiple lines at a time to show you what you could get. Yeah, great cards there. So that was Bride of Frankenstein April. Creature from the Black Lagoon Leonardo. One of the more rare figs. I don't know if we. He's a little grail. I wouldn't put him up as the highest grails, but he is a little graily. Um, Running anywhere from loose complete to 120 to 150 on card, 200 plus, depending on the condition. Um, Great detail work on the scaling here. Little chunky faced for me, but still is Leo. Great work on the gills. The back plating here looks beautiful. Great fig. So we'll go down here. He came with the seaweed katana blade, as you can tell there. The hideous harpoon gun right there, and the Terror Terran trident. So that one there. Yeah, let's go ahead and exit out of his. The Invisible Man, Michelangelo, one of the grailiest figs, I would say, to find complete at least. I have seen a lot more loose lately, but not complete. Really great fig. The clear, running that resin clear was beautiful. Great design choice, I think. You could have easily just stayed with like the face wrap style. They did do that in the mask there, as you can see. We'll go over that in just a minute. But a really great fig and very sought after. To find one complete, even just loose without the accessories, still pretty hard to find. But finding one loose complete or one on card in a minty condition is very hard. So you got the test tube nunchuckas right there. Classic his nunchucks. Just with the twist on it there. Cool disappearing chemistry kit, which would obviously be that featured there. And that part there, I believe, goes with that as well. And then the bandage mask with goon goggles. Now, like I said, I think they could have took the lazy man's way out and just did the paint sculpt on him there. They made a mask for it instead and did the clear resin, which I think was a great choice. But that mask there, keeping that mask complete, is obviously the hardest part about finding this character complete. Again, he had a foreign card release as well. I think they all did. So there's no differences in the turtles themselves, just the packaging. So I don't know for sure how many of each was released, but obviously I would say the foreign card ones are a little bit more rare to find than a regular card. I mean, they're both super rare to find, but a foreign card would be, I don't feel like they produce as much for foreign as they would domestic. So very interesting on that. I'm actually just learning that reading through these, so that's cool. And then finally, the Mutant Raphael, or there's other names for him. We will try to keep it PG because, like I said, this is toys. I like to keep this one a little bit more clean than my Call of Duty streams. But yeah, obviously, clearly there could be some comparisons there. But the giant brain mutating, he's also got the pincers on the claws and the toes, the veining running through. Great. This is one of the best paint schemes, I think, run through Turtles, I would say. I think they did an excellent job, matching that green with some of the other colors you wouldn't normally match them with. So very awesome. And then we have the monstrous mutant weapons hint for him. The atomic double duty crab claw club, which I believe is that. The subatomic thermal forearm ray gun, which is that. It has a little forearm deal to go there. Connect. And then the superatomic psi. Only one psi this time. But that is what you would need to complete him. And then we'll go down. And then they're showing him in the regular release one. Again, amazing artwork, as you see there. So I do believe that these ones too have some variation weapons colors. The only one I don't think is April. I think April's only comes in yellows. I could be wrong again. I was hoping some other people that would know that would jump on so they could correct me, but totally understand it. People are busy. So I do believe these will also come in the color changing accessories as well. Not color changing, but different colored accessories. I went a little too far ahead there on myself. So that is all the Universal monsters. Like I said, we got 2 lines of those, and then we had the NECA releases these last couple years. We started off with, I believe, Hunchback Leo, Now, so NECA, due to copyright laws, couldn't exactly copy the Universal monster lines from Playmate, so they swapped up the characters a bit. They didn't even use Wolfman. They, like I said, they made Leo the Hunchback. They turned Raph into Frankenstein. Thank you, Johnny Boy. Or John Boy. Yeah, I think April and Blue. I know for sure the yellow. I don't know if I've ever seen the blue ones. I would definitely have to go look into that. But I know hers were mainly just yellow. But I think the other ones had all three again or all four again options, like the first line. So like I said, NECA, they were able to. I might be able to pull those up real quick too. I don't know if they're in this. They might be in this. Give me just a sec. Go back and see. See if they do pull up in the NECA here. I don't know if they did NECA on this website or not. Oh, here we go, NECA. Perfect. So we'll go down. So there is some NECAs. I don't know if it's separated by year though. Is the problem. It's okay. We'll keep going down, going down. 13, 14. It might not be updated either, but 2016, 2017. There we go. Friday 2017. Damn, they did a lot. There's so much. I've been focused so much on the vintage that I haven't really gone and looked at all the other sets, but I'm going to start. I do have a couple NECA and a couple Super 7s, so. Super 7, NECA. We're getting into this now. It's a really great website. Like I said, if you got any questions that you need answering, usually this is my go-to. So NECA. Is it really that recently? Oh, here we go. NECA Universe Monsters. Perfect. We'll pull this up and see what they got. So this is not fully updated, I do believe, because we do have a Casey Jones fig as well as Phantom of the Opera. But as you can see here, Leo as the Hunchback, Frankenstein's Monster Raph. They turned Mike into the Mummy. They kept April as the Bride of Frankenstein. So I don't know how that works with Playmates. Like I said, I would believe this was due to copyright laws why they couldn't do the turtles as the same monsters before. So doing April as the Bride of Frankenstein, I definitely want to look into that for sure and see. And then they did Splinter as Van Helsing. Little weird. Van Helsing's the guy that usually hunts the monsters. So maybe doing Shredder as Van Helsing would have been a better option. But I also understand what they're doing there. Yeah, Donatello is Invisible Man, and Casey Jones is Phantom of the Opera. Those are the two that are missing from here. I might go back and see if they relisted them down here. But totally adding, they like add the Hunchback and Van Helsing characters, do the swaps on all the others, and the Phantom of the Opera character as well. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Ah, there we go. They're down here. Perfect. So here we'll pull those up. So you can see those. Casey Jones is Phantom of the Opera, which I think that's a perfect choice. They didn't do that in the original lines, obviously, but makes sense with the hockey mask and all that stuff. Great choice for Casey Jones. And then Donatello as the Invisible Man. Great figs by NECA. So that is our Universal Monster lines there. Again, I think there's issues now even with Super 7 and Playmates. I was hoping to get a Super 7's version of all these. Um, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon unless, again, because I don't know if anybody knows this, they've made changes to their current Super 7s that are coming out of classic Playmate lines because of a complaint from Playmates, from what I understood. Again, I could be wrong. But we'll go back to the original here. This original line here, like I said, I think a lot of people fell in love with Turtles again during this line. Um, I do think he is probably the most popular as far as they go as Wolfman, followed by Mike, and then Mummy, and then Donatello. I think sculpt wise, Raph's is kind of amazing because of the intricate. You can kind of get the lines there to show you wrapping. Mikey with his forehead. That's, I mean, to make that, they made it the Frankenstein square shape. Not normally what a turtle's head shape would be. Um, Great detail on the network. I believe you can't really see it on here, but he does have the bolts in the neck, which is really cool. And even Don's, I think Don's with the cape, and the intricate work of the suit is really nice. Nice big D on there on the bat medallion. They really did a good job with these, and this was the first taste we got of Universal Monsters. So a great first line to release, and really cool. So I would like to know if anybody else jumps in. We can definitely keep chatting some more, and we can debate some of this stuff, or if there's any questions about those. If you were coming from Instagram, we had a poll up, and this was what was voted on. So next week I will do the Metal Mutants, because I think that's another great line that a lot of people need to know about. I love my Metal Mutant Leo. It is one of my favorite figs. The fact that the armor turns into another fig is really cool. I think a lot of people like that. This will definitely be uploaded to YouTube later as well for people to go review. I'm mainly trying to, help some newer people out if they, they need to know what they need to complete these figs, or kind of what the card backs look like so you don't get scammed by people. Not saying there's a lot of those out there, but you never know. Especially when you're collecting these vintage action figures, you want to get what your money's worth. And again, if someone would help me out, I can't remember if anything on Frankenstein might glowed. Maybe his fingernails could have glowed. I can't remember for sure, but I don't think he had any of the glow in the dark features. We'll go to his card and see, because you can kind of see it. They put like the hue around it showing that it glows in the dark. Let's go back here. Down. Yeah, so he does have a few glow. I think it's the bolts on his boots, around and on his arms. So he does have a few things that glow, which is good because he deserved that too. It's a cool treatment, I think, to add to the figs. Again, if you want to go check out my TikTok video one, I do the Wolfman Leo one. Get this back up here. Transition back here. So cool. But yeah, that was the Universal Monsters line. Again, from that line came my favorite fig, Wolfman Leo. Love to know some of your guys' favorite figs in the line there, or which one of the Universal Monsters you prefer, or which ones you're looking for. And I can kind of help you out there if you've never been on Whatnot before. I know some of you are going to be from Whatnot, because I've been promoting it on there, or my Instagram page. There's most of my Whatnot followers as well. Great place to go find vintage action figures, especially the Turtles. We have a great community on there. Great shows running on there. Friday night it's going to be a couple of good shows back to back, so you definitely want to tune in there. But yeah, I would like to know some of your guys' favorite ones. And for future, we can start, I think I want to keep posting the polls up on Instagram so we can keep finding a topic for every Wednesday. The Universal Monster line won out. One of my favorite. I was kind of hoping it did, even though I did myself voted for Metal Mutants. But the Universal Monster line is one of my favorites. So I was really glad I kind of got to go over those today and discuss them. So If nobody's got any other chats they want to talk about or anything like that, we're probably going to wrap it up here. I'm going to finish watching the Lakers and the Warriors. Lakers are down 4. I'll probably actually get on and stream some Call of Duty here in about 10-15 minutes as well again. We did some ranked play today, so let me know how the sound is, if you can hear me well. Other than that, kind of just sit here and chill, wait for some people to come in and chat. And definitely pull that back up too if people want to see it. Source. Oops. Click the wrong button. There we go. Transition. There we go. Again, like I said, the website I use is tmnttoys.com. Really great website to answer a lot of your questions. You can kind of go up here to the top. It has, so this is 98 through 97 is what we're currently clicked on. We can do next mutations, which is 97 through 98, or 88 through 97, my bad. 2003, 2006, the fast forward line, very short lived line, only 2006. We have the TMNT movie line, which a lot of people are saying is actually technically like the 4th movie from the other 3, because there's some Easter egg stuff from the other movies in a scene. We have the modern line, which is 2012 to present now. The Rise line, 2018 till now. And then obviously we got the new movie coming in August. Definitely we're going to have that as one of our topic discussions on a Wednesday night. I'm super stoked for that. I like the comic book style that they're shooting it in, very similar to Into the Spider-Verse. I think I can see some people not liking the way some of the characters are drawn or some of the changes they've made. I think the turtles, all 4, look really great. They got their personalities designed into them, which I think is amazing. I love that they're actually young teenage kids again, you know. And then I understand there's some hate going towards Bebop and Rocksteady's design. Not so much Bebop's, but Rocksteady's definitely. His designs, I can see that kind of rubbing people the wrong way. But it's going to be voiced by John Cena, which I think is great. Let me just get a quick drink of water. Oh, it's starting to dry out on me. Anyways, so if you're not already following me, give me a follow. Would appreciate that. Also, when this gets uploaded to YouTube later, give a like and a subscribe there. We're going to start getting all those coming across. That way you guys have some help on your toy hunts. And it's not just going to be Turts on this Action Figure Wednesdays. I'll probably eventually dive into some Power Rangers, wrestling action figures. I just started collecting Cowboys of Muesa or Moo Mesa. I might start talking about those. Street Sharks, some of the good 90s stuff. But I definitely want to come to some modern stuff as well. We can talk more about some of the NECA stuff and the Super 7s. I love the Super 7 line. I like some of the NECA stuff. I mainly like the NECA movie stuff. I think they did a really good job with the NECA movie stuff. But I also really like the Super 7s. I still haven't decided yet if I'm going to get the new Super 7 Leonardo rocker. I do think they did a great design. There was a lot of hate on it at first, but I really like it. I think they did an excellent job redesigning that and giving us the same feel, but not. And I hope maybe somewhere down the line, Super Sevens and Playmates can get it worked out, because I think they were doing a really good job, and I think it helps Playmates too. Because you get that Super 7 one, maybe you go, oh, I kind of want to get the vintage figure too, or maybe you have the vintage figure and you're like, I want to get that Super 7 to kind of put behind it, give you that kind of contrast in your display. Some of the action figure shows can be talked about. We can do maybe some figure or collection show offs, or kind of how to display properly, some things that you can use, cleaning supplies for cleaning off vintage figs and stuff like that. We could definitely work on that. Um, but yeah, that is a good question. And see, I just learned that today that they had that. I didn't realize they didn't have um, a second release on those, or like an alternate release, because I didn't see it on the first ones for sure, and I'd have to ask some of my friends that might know a little bit more about that. But yeah, I would say the non-US versions are a little more rare because I don't think they make as many for those um, whatever foreign releases. I feel like they made a lot more domestic than they would foreign. So I don't, and like I said, I could be right or wrong, but I'll see if they have which one they have for him. I forgot. They have the regular one for him. Let me go back. I think it was Frank or Bride of Frankenstein that had the double. Let me go right there. So yes. So like I said, I think it's because like I don't know if a lot of people know, and this might be the confusing part too, because I know a lot of the Europe releases are Teenage Hero or Mutant Hero Turtles instead of Ninja, because like they can't say um, Ninja for some reason in some of the Euro ones. Um, but yeah, so on your non-US version one, does it say Ninja or does it say Hero? Yeah, it's definitely the more generic. It's just the like your typical purple back, as I like to call it, and others like to call it. It's got that purple hue on the brakes there. Like they did a lot of those, um, but like so it says heroes. Okay, yeah. So there must be some here in the U.S. too, or there. I think Japan got some of the ninja ones as well. So I would say those hero ones are way more rare from what I understand. Any of the ones that say heroes instead of ninjas are always more rare. So that's cool that you have two of those. That's actually kind of amazing. How are the conditions on those? Pretty minty or a little beat up? I mean, I know. So, like I said, I'm not much of a mock or card on card collector. I like to have my action figures out. I like to have them in my hands, manipulate them a little bit. I know a lot of people are always looking to get the those carded ones graded. Yeah. See, so like I said, I have never seen the Aprils with anything other than yellow. She could have had blue, but I know for like the first Universal line, you had purple, red, blue, or orange, obviously matching the four brothers, and then this one was blue, but there was some purple in there too, even though Dawn wasn't in line. Orange, yellow, and maybe there wasn't red accessories on this one. I haven't seen any with red accessories. I could be wrong on that. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know for sure if they knew that on this because this website's usually pretty good about pointing out variations and stuff, at least packaging variations. So they might not do the actual variations of the figs, which I like to. I love variations. I have so far. So I do what I call the ground chuck herd, or like a lot of people call it army building. I did it with ground chuck. I have about 25 ground chucks. Yeah, maybe only the two per fig. So, but I do ground chucks, and so I have, you know, I don't. I think a lot of people do know that ground chuck has a green mohawk and a silver mohawk variant, but there's also even a little bit more of an alteration on both variants. So his left shoulder piece, the bullhead could either be painted yellow or just matching gray to the shoulder piece. Um, and it doesn't really. it's not on either or, it's on both. I have green ones that have it painted, green ones that don't have it painted. I have silver ones that have it painted, and silver that don't. So, couple different variations there on the ground chuck. And then my Lieutenant Leos, I have a couple different ones of them. You have the light camouflage and the dark camouflage on them. I actually started building an army on those recently, so which is gonna be awesome to see. All the different variations standing next to each other. Variations are cool. I like the variations. I like seeing variations. Definitely gonna do a whole show to variations one time, for sure. There's so many of them. But yeah, they're usually pretty good about pointing that out. So yeah, I hope that answers your question on that. I believe anything that says heroes is always rarer than anything that has ninja on it, because obviously ninja was more mass produced because it could go everywhere. But any of the countries that had to say heroes, I feel like they only made a limited number of them. Delta Dawn with white accessories is very hard to find. Hopefully he'll jump on here in a little while. I might message him. My friend, Mutant Collectors, sells on Whatnot. He lives in Hawaii. He actually has 3 of them in his collection with the white accessories. He actually has, his army build was Navy SEAL Mike, believe it or not. He's done an army build to those, and he has a couple of the scuba rafts in the middle to be the heads, the generals or whatever you want to call it, and then he has a couple of the Delta Dawn with the white accessories in there as well. So yeah, very hard to find those white. Even though he was what I believe was a re-release afterwards. We can actually pull that up here. This is the cool part about these. Let's see. Those are going to be 93 or 92. Yeah, that's got to be 92 then. Did I miss them? Oh, no, they're there. Okay, we'll pull that up here. And Delta Team Dawn. Go down. So yeah, there's the so he's actually had 2 re-releases. Nickelodeon re-released him a while back when they took over everything. But yeah, there's the white accessory one, the goggles, the ammo sling, whatever we'll call it, the belt, and the bandage there is white, and even the wrist cuff becomes white as well. Yeah, finding those white accessories is very hard. Like I said, he is definitely I will give him Grail status. He's obviously not the grailiest Grail, but he is Grail status when it comes to those white accessories. Now that, like I said, the hard part, this was the KB re-release for the white, which I think it's funny that it was a re-release that got those white. It wasn't a original, So the original too, like I said, has that classic amazing artwork, which it sucks that when they do some of these re-releases, they don't bring that artwork back, because that's amazing. You can't tell me that's not amazing and that doesn't look good. But then they just release it on the purple back or KB re-release. So, but yeah, you got to make sure you got the white goggles there. Bam, bam, matches up to the black ones up here. Even finding a complete Delta Dawn is a little challenging. I sold one on a Whatnot show 2 months back ago for around $75-$80. So even the ones complete with just the black accessories are pretty hard, because those extra foliage pieces are always going missing and stuff like that. So definitely we can do a show on the mutant military line. Love the mutant military lines, both of them. Again, amazing stuff on those. Definitely put those up for topic down the road. Especially military 2 is pretty solid. You've got these 3 right here. All 4 of these bad boys are super hard to find. The problem with Leo is finding him with an arrow complete, because even as I say that, I think the guys, oh no, they did get the one with the complete arrow. They must have updated. The first picture I ever saw of him on here they had was a broken arrow, so it's good that they've got that updated. Because finding him with an arrow complete is so hard. Um, Scout or yeah, Yankee Doodle Rav. I've seen a lot more of him. It's just hard to complete his accessories as well. Obviously, a Navy SEAL mic 100% complete, and that is with harpoon and the 2 grenades. I just sold one again, um, a fully complete one 2 months ago for around $163. Loose complete. Was in great shape. Had all the stickers. Was beautiful. Um, Pork Nose and Doughboy. Again, with them, it's more about the accessories. Again, they had some smaller accessories that were hard to keep going. It's been a really good game. Lakers are up 1, but Wiggins is going to the line. Yeah, Navy SEAL's always missing his stickers. I actually had 2 in that show. The first one I sold was the stickers were starting to kind of peel off a little bit, and he only had 1 grenade versus 2. But I had one that was fully complete that looked just beautiful. Like I said, if you've ever been on Whatnot and you've been on Mutant Collector Show, you see the army of them. It looks amazing in the background. Um, might bring him on one time to kind of show you guys that. Let's go back here. That one. But yeah, I like I said, we did one. I did one a couple weeks ago. I took last week off because we had kind of just a whirlwind week with my son's birthday, family coming into town, getting everything kind of caught up from Easter and other things. We're just kind of running around. So this is going to start becoming a weekly Wednesday show. And we'll always have a new topic. But my first topic last week, if you can go back and watch the video, was we talked about. Now I gotta remember. Crap. What did we talk about? Oh, Mutaforce. We talked about the Mutaforce turtles. Because I had just recently upgraded my Mutaforce turtle. Go ahead and pull that up. That was 1996. And as we keep doing these shows, I'm going to do a lot more research and stuff like that, so I have more answers for everybody. Because I want to be that go-to guy for some. But yeah, we were talking about the Mutaforce because I finally got my Leonardo that had the shoulder pads on it and the knee pads. I still need his weapons accessories, but I thought the Mutaforce was a really cool line, especially like I said, 1996. Yes, Black Lagoon Leo. Now he is one that I don't have in my collection just yet. Hopefully very soon. I'm working on a deal with for one. He is one I do not have in my collection yet. Oh yeah, the bandana is the on Wolfman's always missing too because it pops out very easily in the back there. Let's go back down to 94. Kind of go over what you were talking about there. There we are. Yeah, I can imagine that trident and the bandana both. I mean, even the trident would probably snap a few times, but yeah, that bandana probably snaps off quite easily. Like I said, Wolfman's is usually missing too, from his. But yes, like I said, he's not a super grail. I'd say he's a little grail as far as the concerned. You see him go for a lot of money. Very hard to find complete as well. Loose complete. I've seen more. Actually, I've seen more mocks of him than I have seen loose complete versions of him. Um, but a very cool figure in itself. In fact, when you look at that line, I think it's between those two as more rare, and then these two are right behind them. I mean, all 4 are still very rare to find in very good condition, but the fact you have 2 of those on card is still crazy to me. I've seen a lot of good battles over that guy right there on Whatnot and even on eBay as well. But yeah, very cool figs, very amazing lines. I appreciate you, John Boy, for jumping in here and chatting with me. It's a lot easier to do one of these streams with someone to chat to. Hopefully, I'll keep promoting as much as I can on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff, so we can get some more people in here. I'd like you guys to chat with one another as well. Like, when I do my Whatnot shows, we do get a lot of chatter in there, and I feel like myself as the seller is gonna miss out on some things because I can't really talk and sell. I'm trying to sell you guys figs, and I want to keep up with the conversations as well. It's a lot easier for me to do it here, but then you guys can also in the chat talk away with each other, get pointers, tips, opinions. I love opinions. Like that's the great thing. Everybody's going to have one. And I don't, as far as action figures go, there's no wrong opinion, right? Because it's how you see what it is. Leonardo's obviously my favorite character, but I'm not going to, demand that everybody says he's the best Turt. In my mind, he is the best. But others have. So like I said, John Boy, mine is too. I am very much a loose guy. I've actually ripped a few on card. In fact, I was gonna do that tonight, but there's not enough people here, so I might save it. I got a Space Hoppin' Leo from the 2004 line that I was gonna rip off card tonight, but not enough people tuned in, so I didn't really. I promoted that last week, not as heavy this week, so I'll probably save it for next Wednesday. We'll rip that thing right off card, because I do. Hopefully this Sunday, Mutant Collectors is gonna run a stream on Whatnot that everybody should definitely tune into. We're gonna do a little cross promotion there, and hopefully get some stuff for him and stuff for me as well. Go ahead and do that. Perfect. So yeah, if there's anything else you'd like to talk about, I'm definitely down to stick around. Otherwise, probably here in like 6 minutes, I'll just call it and shut her down for at least this show. Like I said, I'll probably do a quick jump on and do some Call of Duty. I was getting really into it earlier and stopped because I had to go pick up my son. So I want to get back there. On Call of Duty, I like to play ranked play, and I was gonna try the new Warzone ranked. Played it a little bit today. Unfortunately, they only did the trios version of it, which sucks because you're getting paired with, if you don't already have a 3-stack, you're gonna get paired with randos, and randos in Warzone is never good. Ranked play on the multiplayer is not as bad because it's all the one objective, and it's all one condensed map. But on Warzone, it's just such a big map and it got a little hectic, we'll just say. So I didn't want to tarnish too much on my rank there, but I'm definitely going to get into that a little bit more. I run with a clan called the No Way Clan. So if you're ever on and you want to come watch some Call of Duty, I will be streaming that Monday nights, Wednesday day, and Friday nights going forward. Last night was my Super Tuesday, where I'm going to discuss DC, Marvel, anime, hero characters like that. Last night was my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Great movie, definitely much watched. And then Saturday nights are going to be my wrestling talk. I'm a huge WWE fan, AEW, just wrestling in general. I don't watch a lot of New Japan or Impact and stuff like that. I definitely watch it occasionally, but not as much as I watch WWE and AEW. In fact, the AEW show tonight was amazing. Great finish to the steel cage match between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. Going to be one of the talking points for Saturday. And if there's any pay-per-views on Saturday or Sunday for wrestling, I'm going to be doing watch-alongs with those as well. So, like I said, Wednesdays was going to be kind of Turt Talks, but I'm kind of turning it into action figure talk. It can go opposite ways too. Like I said, I definitely want to talk about the movie when it comes out, or as we get closer to the movie. We definitely want to watch that. Very excited. Like I said, very excited for that movie. Hopefully, I'll probably get a couple of different figures as well from that line because I saw previews for them. Looks good. They still don't make toys like they used to. Like I said, especially like when you're talking about that is the Universal Monster line. So that first original line is so iconic, and like I said, my Wolfman Leo is the main point of my display of my collection. So that's right. 93. Oop, I went too far. There we go. Get right back on all those bad boys. And perfect. So there those. That was our main point of discussion tonight. Was those bad boys right there. Like I said, very, very awesome figs. The glow in the dark features on all those, amazing. Like I said, if you haven't played with those before, it's really cool. And like I did find out that Mikey does have glow in the dark points. They're on his elbow pads. His fingernails, the knee pads, and I believe the bolts on his boots as well also glow. So maybe the neck ones. Like I said, I don't collect anything outside of Leo, minus a few. The WWE Turts, I did collect them as well, but yeah, so I don't really collect anything outside of Leo. And I definitely will do a stream from the collection in a couple weeks. Probably actually next Wednesday will be. I'll have the collection in the background so you guys can kind of see that. And we could talk about it. Whoa. Got hit with the tired bug there. Wow. Yeah, so John Boy, if you got anything else you want to add, definitely go ahead and put her in the chat and need some more water. There we go. Tie ball game. So, all right. I think that we'll call it that tonight. Like I said, I'll upload this later to YouTube for anybody to go check out. Thank you, John Boy, for being on here and chatting it up with me. Awesome. Well, go ahead and give me a follow. That way you know next time I go live. Like I said, this is going to happen every Wednesday. Especially if we can get up to this 50 followers, we'll keep doing some things and hopefully we get some bigger things going. Like I said, might bring in some collectors, other collectors, kind of just show off a little bit. Might even try to get a celebrity appearance or two. I definitely want to try to get a hold of somebody from Playmates. See if they can talk with us a little bit, or even just have an open Q&A with them would be kind of cool. Got lots of questions, so appreciate that, and I will catch you guys a little later. Like I said, here in probably like 10 minutes, I'll be back on streaming Call of Duty if you want to check that out. If not, totally cool. I'll see everybody next Wednesday for Turtle Talk. We gotta end it right here.